Welcome back to Call Me By Your Game, the podcast where I, your host, Connor McKay, bring on a guest to hear from them about a meaningful or memorable video game from a particular moment in their life. Normally on the show, I bring on one guest to hear from them about that and get into the context of what made it so gosh darn special. But today is going to be a very special episode. Here on episode 215, we are doing, once again, returning to the format of our top 10 favorite games of all time, where I bring back past guests of the show to list their top 10 personal favorite games, most of which I usually hear from people major regrets the day after. So I can't wait to see how this group feels. This is edition 7, and we've got a killer panel for you today. Anything, by the way, that my guests or I plug on today's episode, you can find a link in the show notes. So whether it's social media for the podcast or just TikTok, which is just blowing up right now, or even the Patreon where we do bonus podcast episodes, you can find links in the show notes. So keep an eye out, whether you're watching on YouTube, listening to this on a podcast catcher, or wherever you are. But that'll do it for the housekeeping. And I'll finally introduce our three guests for this episode. First and foremost, please welcome back from episode 13, one of the earliest guests that we had on the show, who brought on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It is none other than Oscar Montoya.
Hello. I want to take you for a ride again.
Oh, I appreciate that. And, kind of exciting for you. We just had a little announcement.
I mean, come on. My dream come true. I've been waiting forever for that.
Yeah.
And so it's happening. I'm very excited.
Nice little collection. I don't remember when that's coming out. Do you know when that's coming?
I don't think they said, or if they did, I don't quite remember. All I saw was just Capcom and Marvel fighting collection. And I said,
yes.
Okay, you got me.
Very exciting. That's a game that I'll wrap this up so I can introduce our other guests. But I know a lot of people have so much affection for that series, especially 2, which you brought on for your original solo episode. But I still think of you like top of mind when it comes to those. So just know you've got a hold on the property.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Oscar, as always, it's good to have you. We're also joined by another guest from episode 156 that he brought on Paper Mario. It's none other than Cale Hills.
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
You're so welcome. I'm just gonna. Am I trying to celebrate everyone's original game? Oh, you just had Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door come out. I say you as if it was made for you. I know you haven't played it yet, though.
Well, I started it. I finally got all those moons in Odyssey, so I was allowed to move on to a new game. So I just got out of the Boggly Woods. So
oh, fun. So you met Miss Flurry, I believe, in that area?
Yeah. And she's horny as ever.
Oh.
She's so fucking horny.
You're gonna hear from
There's
me.
Actually some really great hentai of her. You said you were gonna put anything we plug in the show notes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm kind of tied to that now.
So look in the show notes for some hentai of Miss Flurry getting blasted by
blasted wind joke.
Blasted, you say? That sounds fantastic. My top 10 games, which I'm going to list at some point, that might just be all her, just characters, and it's her. Cale, I'm really glad to have you back. We're going to round out our crew with the representative from episode 167, not too far after Cale's, only 11 episodes, who brought on Super Mario Brothers 3. It is none other than Mono Agapian.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
another Mario fan.
Another big Mario fan here, biased. You'll see by my list. I'm sick. Hey.
Welcome back. I have nothing to celebrate for you. There was a new Mario platformer, I don't know, 8 months ago or so.
Very happy with it. I played it tip to taint, and I'll have you know, I did everything with unassist. They had sort of an assist mode with the online thing. No. I didn't do that.
Wow.
I didn't do any of that. I also did the final badge challenge on that Mario, which was disgusting. Did anyone play that one?
Oh, I heard about it, but no.
I was not able to get past the invisibility badge.
Yes. Oh, that honestly, I almost killed my mother. I almost snapped from reality, bought a gun, and shot Got my mom in her sleep because it was so maddening. And frankly, I got that invisibility one like through luck and chance and 10% of skill. But having said that, I cleared it 100%. I was very proud of myself.
My goodness, that's a feat. For a game in the series that like might be one of the easier Mario platformers, the extreme difficult parts might be as hard as anything I've seen in a Mario platformer.
Yeah, the hard parts got hard. For the stands, they put some boards in there. And that's, I think, what made me really want to beat it, because I was so high and mighty that then I was like, well, then nut up. If this is so easy, then bring it.
Yeah. You're toxic, masculine.
I know.
I lost. You know how you have like 99 lives?
Yes.
And you get to if you stay in those 99 lives, you can stay at those checkpoints and keep progressing to an extent. I wasn't able to use I had to use more than 99 lives to get there. So I think I roughly used 180 lives to get to the goal of beating it. It was sick.
Well, I know I said that we're coming on here to list our top 10 favorite games. I think I might pivot this to an intervention, but I don't know. I'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
My friends, I'm so excited to have the three of you on. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this today. As we do with this format, I'm going to go ahead and just set a little example, show you the way, if I will, by listing my top 10 personal favorite games of all time.
Okay.
As I say on all these episodes, this list can change for me from time to time, but there's actually no updating I need to do today. So I'll just go ahead and, as I type them into the interface here and they're displayed on Twitch, I'll just list them. My number 10 to this day remains Halo Combat Evolved, the original Halo. Not the best Halo, I would say, but definitely the one I have the most nostalgia for. My number 9, one of the more recent games I've played on this list, Portal 2. Number 8, another game that I also didn't play until I think 2020, Shadow of the Colossus. Love that game. Number 7, a game that I've never beaten but spent hundreds of hours living another life in, which is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Oh,
wow.
Lord, yes.
I'm also a bit of a bad boy myself, and I love skateboarding in theory. And so, of course, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is on my list.
The music.
Also, oh my gosh, the just soundtracks in those are iconic. And this one, and also not the best in the series, but my personal favorite. Number 5, we have a game that I don't play very often anymore, but it'll always hold a special place in my heart, and that is Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube. We have at number 4, Pokemon Silver, probably my favorite RPG and definitely my favorite Pokemon game of all time. Sitting at number 3, we have the children's point and click sports game, Backyard Baseball 2001.
You love that game.
I love that game. I truly return to it every summer and have streamed it a bunch. Sitting at number 2 is none other than Super Mario 64. And then at the top of my list, I still have a tie of 1B, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Definitely the most recent game on this list. And then my favorite game of all time is still The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's my list for the listeners. I hope to have an update for you next time. I want to play something that like beats up the nostalgia, which is just cramming up my list. There's no rules for the lists that these fine fellows are going to be making today. You can do crazy things with your list. They see I've got a tie at the top of mine. You can have, if you wanted, you could have one whole property take up. You could have
like
a
franchise. Oh, that's interesting.
You could just be like, hey, I only like Resident Evil, and so all 10 of these are Resident Evil.
I like that.
games.
That's funny. I have alternates. I have runners up.
Oh,
that are not.
If they can't complete their
perfect.
Their duty.
I did that too. I have some honorable mentions.
Oh,
well, definitely. I'll save some time once we finish out our our official 10-ish.
I like that.
For a little honorable mention.
Connor, can I just say,
Yes.
have you ever considered politics?
I have not considered politics, but Max Lasser once told me that if I ever ran for office, he would definitely vote for me.
Yeah.
I was just in this moment feeling the exact same thing, given your like equanimity in explaining things, leading us in such a thoughtful way. I love it.
Just established that Connor has too much empathy.
Yeah.
It would ruin you.
Like, you were like, I stubbed my toe, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
You would do. You're the leader that we. What's the Batman thing? You're
That
the
we
one
don't
we need,
deserve?
not the one that we don't. We should.
That's a quote. Yeah.
It would,
And
it would ruin you.
Don't
But
need, but we
Don't.
might
but we might get him.
require.
I think ruining me would probably be worth it if it gave us like a positive, like a net positive. I think
Yeah.
so.
See, that's too. Then there you go. That's
See,
too
that's
There
why
it is.
you're too nice.
That's too nice.
I think by the end of this podcast, I'll decide, maybe I will just jump. Maybe I'll just jump in and run.
Okay, let's check in.
Yeah, hurry up because Sleepy Joe's looking for a replacement. As
Yeah.
speak.
Sleepy
So-
Joe.
Can we age me a year and a half in the next, 4 months?
Yeah.
Easy.
I actually
Oh, yeah.
see.
We can
Pete-
forfeit some papers.
I can
Mhm.
actually see Pete Buttigieg in their background. He's just eyeing you, just ready to scoop you up and take you to the White House to be the new candidate.
I think so. Pete's just got his laser trained on me. Well, gents, any questions from you three before we jump into this process, which I'm sure none of you will feel any regret for?
I have a question for Oscar.
Uh-oh.
Oscar,
Yes.
how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good. I'm glad.
Good.
Okay, a little ominous.
I have a question for Kale.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Kale, how are you doing today?
A 5 out of 10 in terms of when I think about like the world at large. I'll give myself in my individual sphere like an 8.
Okay.
Nice.
We love.
All right, let's get real. Oh, wait. I do have one question. It's
Who's it
for it's for Connor. How you doing, bud? How's your heart?
My heart, pretty solid. I made a reservation for the first time today at the Tam O'Shanter. How about that?
Nice.
That's fun.
Yes.
Don't get the prime rib. It's nasty.
Oh,
No,
taken?
do get the prime rib.
Oh, other note
Now what are you
taken.
gonna do?
do what you want. Listen to your heart.
What you want? What you want? What you
See,
order?
that's what makes me explode is when you give me an option. So
This
I'm
is a
doing
good test to see if you want to go into politics too, because you're
Mhm.
going to be dealing with a lot of competing interests.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
How do
Especially
I
if your
please them
constituents
all?
are, split in the middle.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Aw.
I'm just looking forward at the future today, and all I can think of is prime rib at this point. So I'm good because I'm excited to go there. And did we complete the circle? Because I technically invited a question and Mono
That's
asked me.
true. That's
Mm.
true.
Or should I? Do I need to ask Mono a
that's
question?
my fault. I messed up because
I
I was
would-
trying.
No,
to
no, you've included
you
Connor
actually
in
did
it.
it perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof.
That's
So
what
that's
we
mine.
want.
Mono,
Do you have a question for me?
what do you plan to eat for dinner tonight?
That's none of your business. That is none
Okay.
of your business.
How dare you?
You know, it's what I deserve. Well, speaking of Mono, why don't we start with you?
Oh
with
my God.
We're going to start with you
Okay.
with your number
This is
10.
scary. I'm scared.
And by the way I just like blew through my list, you all
Yeah.
don't have to do that. You can take time and explain why something's on your list. And again, this is supposed to be your personal favorite list at this point, at the best you could, but you do your thing. Mono, I'll turn to you.
Okay. Okay, we'll see. I'll do a little bit of both. Anyone interrupt me and scream at me, which if you want to. Okay, at number 10, the best game in the world for me at number 10 is Celeste.
Ooh.
Oh,
We love
Celeste.
it. We love an
Okay.
allegory. We love feelings, and we love a soundtrack. Very good.
We love punishment, I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah, yeah.
How long did it take you to beat Celeste, Mono?
Kind of a bit. I'm sure there's some stuff I haven't done yet because there's all those like
The
Take-
B-sides.
yeah,
And,
the B-sides. Those. That was a little hard, but overall, I mean, it like got me emotional.
Big time.
Yeah. Okay, number 9.
Wait, actually,
No.
you don't
Keep poking.
we're just gonna stay. We're gonna
At
do 1 at
10.
a time. So we're gonna do your 10 and then go around
Okay.
the circle. But anything else you want to say about Celeste? Or are you content?
I just thought it was so good. Who here played it?
I did, but I never beat it. I have.
Ooh.
It was honestly too
Oscar.
tough for me. I was like, this is a little too hard.
The difficulty or the
Mhm,
emotion?
the difficulty, and maybe the emotion.
I bet it was the emotion because you're good at video games.
Not that good. The game is hard.
Yeah,
The
I
game
guess so.
is difficult.
I guess so. It's very finicky, if you will. But I just fucking loved it. There needs to be more games like that. And yeah, that's all I need to say.
Mono, did you play the like free sort of Celeste 64 demo that team made that they released this year?
No.
Ooh.
So
No, what's that?
you need a computer to be able to play it, but
Don't have one.
oh gosh dang. Well, if you had one, it's essentially
Yeah, Mono's
like,
recording this at the local library.
oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
I'm
looks
recording this
comfy.
on microfiche.
It's essentially just like I think it's like one level of a sort of Super Mario 64 Banjo-Kazooie like. But
okay.
with Celeste, playing as Maddie and with her abilities and all that stuff. It's pretty cool if you want to check it out.
Love. Okay. At number 9, I feel like I'm taking too much time.
No, you're fine.
No,
we're
all going.
We're not doing.
We're all saying our 10s first.
We're all
and
saying
then-
our 10s?
Yes,
Oh,
that's what Connor
sexy.
said to us.
I misunderstood the
Hey,
assignment.
damn.
I bet it's going to make sense once Oscar swings us around. We'll go to Kale now. And Kale, regale us
Okay.
with your number 10.
Okay. Mono's number 9 pick. I'm gonna for my number 10. I chose Frogger.
Love.
Between the version that I had on a Game Boy and also the 1997 PC
Aw.
Ooh.
version.
Remember the PlayStation remergence? You don't care about that.
Yes.
I don't know about it. I bet I
It
would
was
have loved
pretty
it though.
fun.
I remember that one. Yeah. Wait, was Frogger one of the first games you played, Kale?
I think Frogger was definitely one of the first games I played. Maybe the first game that I owned, for myself. My aunt's ex-husband came into town one time and he took us to Walmart. I don't remember why, but he was like watching us.
He's trying to get some points.
I think he was trying to like
Yeah.
ingratiate himself and be like a good guy. And so I had been dying for Frogger and he got it for me. So
Wow.
Mm-mm.
On
I
Game
had
Boy.
On Game Boy, and I had the do you remember I don't know the right way to describe it, the like see-through material?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
I had, like,
purpley see-through?
I had a green one.
Love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh,
So
that's
Game
cool.
Boy, not Game Boy Color, Game Boy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Like looking back at, Frogger all these years, Kale, is there a particular reason that it forgive me, jumps onto your list here? Like, is there is it mostly the nostalgia of that time?
Frogs.
Definitely the story. Definitely
Oh yeah, the arc.
emotions. No, I'll be honest.
The
My
story.
list is like entirely nostalgia driven. So
Hale, you gotta play that PlayStation 1.
I
I'm
can't
telling
wait.
ya.
Yeah, it's like a
fun.
dark take on Frogger. He's an alcoholic and
And he's trying to get his kid back, who like his kid basically obviously he lost in a custody battle.
of course.
Yeah.
He lives on the other side of the road, and so that's why.
That is the whole thing.
Mhm.
It's very God of War, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, just nostalgia. First game I played.
I love it. Frogger. We've had Celeste on. I'm not going to do this about every game, but that's new. Frogger being on one of these, that's great. It deserves to stay in the sun.
I think, unfortunately, my breadth of video games, I stand by my list, but my breadth of video game experience is not as much as these guys. So I think you're going to have a few games on my list where you're going to be like, Sure, that you can choose that. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's honestly, that is truly what I enjoy about these episodes is you get some like all of mine are most of mine are pretty down the barrel. I like the eclectic ones. So thank you, Kale.
You're welcome.
Oscar, it's time to hear from you. What's your number 10?
My number 10 pick is a video game that has, to me, one of the biggest twists in video game history. It like sort of encapsulated like, oh my God, storytelling in video games, like that can happen. And the role of the player, not the character of the video game, but the person playing the video game. It opened my brain up into like a really weird brain hurty kind of way. And for that, BioShock is my number 10 pick.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, I don't know if y'all played BioShock.
No.
And I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played it, because I do think that there is a moment there that you're just like, what the hell? But it made sort of like a really cool, very tonal heavy game really like level up in terms of storytelling by like a fun little twist towards the end of the game that you're just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oscar, we just played through this for our second quarter games club. So we just did like an 11 episode series on this game. And then we played Infinite as a bonus episode. So just like a one-off on that, which I don't like near as much as the original. But yeah, did you play it like near when it launched? Because I came to it very late.
Yeah, I played it when it came out because a lot of people were talking about it, and I was like, "What is going on here?" Yeah, and I think a friend of mine let me borrow it, and so yeah, I played it and was like blown away. I was blown away by the opening cinematic of just like that when you go into Rapture and you're just like, "Whoa, this is really cool," and then yeah, just the whole storyline of it is so amazing and fantastic. And I'm not one for like first person sort of like shooter type games. It makes me a little motion sick because I'm a baby. But the story is what riveted me so much. So for that reason, yeah, that's why it's number 10 for me.
Awesome.
That's fun. I played part of this game. It's cool. This is the steampunk one, right?
Yeah,
it's got some steampunk elements. Yeah, it's like sort of like 1950s,
so reductive.
Like Art Deco under the water.
Yes, yeah. I have played. This will make the listeners feel good. I've played about one board of this game.
One board?
I know that's not even how the game works. That's not even how the game works. I've
what do you mean by board?
Are you talking about level?
Yeah, like I remember the world being, like you're saying, amazing, that it was somehow like so 1950s, but also post-apocalyptic. That unfortunately was the most amazing thing to me. And then I get overwhelmed and anxious at first person games.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, Oscar, that's your number 10. We're gonna start ping-ponging back and stay with you. What's your number 9?
My number 9 game. Oh, I mean, you mentioned this game in your top 10 list, except I'm going to talk about the remake because my number 9 pick is Pokemon Soul Silver. It's incredible. And the reason why it's Soul Silver and not Silver is because, I mean, I don't know how much peripherals are included in the conversation of video games, but if you remember, the Soul Silver and the Heart Gold came with a pedometer where you can like put your Pokemon in and you can walk so it could evolve and stuff.
Whoa.
Like that dynamic was so crazy to me. I was like, video games are awesome. They're making us exercise now, you know? And also, you know, the silver, the gold is the best in the series to this day, I think. And Soul Silver, they re-upped the graphics a little bit. And of course, they brought the Kanto region again, and you can't beat that. That's 2 games in one. You cannot beat that. It's so incredible.
Silver's, on my list, but it could be interchangeable with Soul Silver. It took what was already an all-timer for me, and I think I've heard some complaints about the newer soundtrack. I love everything about it. I love that a Pokemon is following you.
Yes. Even that little detail. That seems like why. It just feels so, it gets you immersed in that world. of having a little buddy that you can choose to follow you around.
Do you have a favorite starter from that generation?
Oh
God, I don't. But my favorite Pokemon is from that generation, and it's Wooper. So I will play the game. I played the game like maybe 4 times, and each time Wooper is like my starter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
Wooper. What the hell kind of animal was Wooper again?
Like a
a little mudfish.
Axolotl. I think they're called an
axolotl.
Axolotl. Yeah.
Okay, this is ringing
just
a bell.
Cute. They're so cute.
Just an all-time game. Speaking of, we were talking about the Nintendo DS earlier. Speaking of just like a home run, Kale.
Yeah.
Back to you. What's your 9th favorite game?
Like this.
Like, where's
like
this going? I chose this one because I guess I'm learning about this in the moment. I just kind of chose the games arbitrarily, but now that I'm looking at them, I'm kind of information is being revealed to me. And I did really love the story in this game, and I also like games with simple and fun battle mechanics, and so for that reason I chose Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
You're jacking in right now, Kale.
Yeah. And back then I used to jack in almost every day.
Hell yeah.
No, just for anyone watching this. True.
Now, I've never played the X-Men Battle Network games. How are they different than the platformer Mega Man games?
And please tell me it's better than Mega Man Legends.
I love Mega Man Legends. Are you crazy?
No, I hate
Trombone. Oh,
Trombone.
Legends.
Mega Man Battle Network is not a platformer. It's I would say almost like in some ways a cross between a Pokemon game and maybe like a Persona game, in that there's an overarching story and then also like daily life, as well as kind of like 2 distinct realms, because a big feature of the game, and also I think part of the reason it resonated with me at the time is just like this was, kind of when the internet was a newer
limitless
phenomenon.
Frontier sort of.
Yeah. So you're like living your life, but you're also jacking into the network and going into the net, and you fight viruses and solve crimes and all that kind of stuff. And then the mechanic for fighting is like a grid system, but you can build you can build out different you have like computer chips that give you different abilities, and it's just the perfect level of difficulty for when how old was I? Was like 10 or 12. It was like the perfect amount of complex, but still accessible. Yeah. That's something I struggle a lot with games still, even is like just however my brain works. If a game is too complicated, it's hard for me to find my way in. So Mega Man was like the perfect amount of there's a lot going on, but you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Nice. Still accessible.
Work. Fun.
Dang.
Do we need to...
So this is a GBA title, right?
Yeah. Game Boy Advance.
We've still,
and for that one, I did have the clear purple.
Oh yeah, same here.
Thank God.
I think it was like ice. It was called like ice or something.
I think Glacier.
Glacier, that's what I had. Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I had that one.
Fucking bring that shit back. Where is the see-through plastic?
See-through plastic is gonna make a comeback real soon. Just you wait and see.
I've definitely seen like
go away to come back.
Yeah, I've seen like people like custom made shells for their Switches and stuff, and they always look really enticing.
I love that. I fucking love that.
Mega Man Battle Network. Kale's number 9, but Mono, we've been just teased by your number 9 for minutes at this point. What is it?
I know. Okay, my number 9 is one that I don't know if anyone will know. I certainly hope you do.
Ooh,
it's a PC
Mario
game.
Brothers.
Yeah, Mario
Brothers Mario. Picture it. Sicily, 1990. So no, it's a PC game called Microsoft's Midtown Madness.
What the heck?
Midtown Madness is
blink.
It is like
Sounds
the
awesome.
first open world game. It's
Wow.
but it's just a driving game. It's like Grand Theft Auto without the violence.
Wait, so how did you come across this game? How'd you find out about it?
I don't I literally want to say it was like when you would get like PC, you would like buy PC games at like TJ Maxx, you know, like when you would be like, I can afford one of these PC games in a bin. And we came across Midtown Madness. And it was one of those games that I lost hours and hours and hours to. And it has that weird appeal where you can just kind of have a shit ton of fun driving around this facsimile of Chicago. I don't know why it is. I would love to see if I still love it. I haven't. I need to put it on a damn Steam Deck or something and play it. But I loved it so much that I decided it needed to be on the list.
Wow. And what year did they come out? 99.
And there was a part 2, which maybe was a little more sophisticated. Part 3 jumped the shark. They lost it. They lost what they had.
That
but
was good about it.
Yeah, they didn't know what was good about it. It was simple. It was fun. I don't know. It was like, but that's a lot of games I like. I like a flow state game, and this is just one of those games.
I also love about that. I feel like something that to get on like my millennial soapbox, something that I really love about that era and our era of childhood is the randomness of how you discovered it. Like,
yes,
everything now is so curated, and you can pretty easily spend your life knowing ahead of time what games you're going to enjoy. So it feels harder to have a random, like to wander into a TJ Maxx and then leave with a game that changes your life.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Big Wreck. I gotta play this on some sort of, I'm not good at any of the emulation stuff, but I'm gonna play it soon.
That seems worth it. I was trying to emulate an old PC game, and it's just, I have a PC and I feel like I know how to work this thing, and it's a challenge. So I wish you luck, Mono. Well, we're gonna stay with you though as we ping pong back.
Oh, okay.
What's your number 8?
Let's do it. My number 8 is okay. Oh God. Oh boy.
First indecision.
My number 8 is Mario Kart 8.
Oh, all right.
You know, they really said, hey, this is the game where it no longer is a game anymore. Now it's like a subscription service. But I do think this game is fucking amazing. It's Mario Kart. Everyone and your fucking mother loves Mario Kart. Anyone knows how to play it. It is one of those games that nailed somehow it's so simple, but also if you're looking for complexity, you can find it. Which is kind of a thing Nintendo kind of nails all the time, which is, you know, not a lot of people do that, where it's like, it's easy if you want to, and it's complicated if you want to. It's an amazing game. You get all the characters, you get the stupid boards, you get to go upside down on your hoverboard shit. It's a good, so that's my number 8.
Who's your main driver?
Oh God, you know, it's been a long road. I started back in Super Nintendo days. I started as a light, you know, I started as a light. I think I was, and then I skipped right over my medium phase, and I went right to my heavy bear phase. I'm looking for the daddies. I'm looking for the Bowsers and one of the Koopa kids is heavy. I forget which one.
I'm sure Donkey Kong is too.
Donkey Kong definitely is.
But yeah, I like finding that weird mix where you get a heavy character with like a light-ish car.
That's so good.
How about y'all?
Oh, I'm a Donkey Kong convert in the last like 2 years. That's
another heavy
from a boring Mario guy to Donkey Kong. Anybody else?
I spent a long time as a Boo.
Really?
Another heavy.
But the more I've kind of come into myself and, you know, accepted who I am. I now almost exclusively play as Toad.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I
That's
get
amazing.
that.
Yes. Same for me. Like the more I'm, looking within and doing some internal work, I've realized that my main is Daisy. So,
Now let me ask you a very fair question. Which track quickly? Which track would be the best theme for a gay bar?
what?
Well, who's the sub? What's the demographic?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm probably the one to answer this question, right?
Yeah, Connor, if you could
you?
Actually,
I'll let you all answer, and I'll have mine.
No. I would love for Connor to answer because it will reveal.
I actually think that would be the
like truth.
Yeah,
because I know what I could say for me, but that's maybe not like.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what kind of gay you are, of course. But Connor, I want to know what kind of gay you are.
Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I get this track name right.
Remember, this is a live stream, so careful.
This is a live stream, and I'm choosing to publish this on YouTube and every podcast place imaginable. My pick is going to be Sky High Sunday, one of the new ice cream track.
Oh my god, I haven't played it yet. Okay, great.
I love like a lot of the new stuff they've done for the deluxe bonus tracks that they've released over the last couple of years, and that one in particular was like a home run for me. And it's just it's so pleasant, makes me want ice cream every time.
Yeah,
it's a good choice.
Good choice. You're not canceled, Connor.
You're
very
not canceled.
Hamburger Mary's coded.
Yeah. It's a lot of heavy cream, which
who's saying no to that?
Who's saying no to that? Okay, great.
That's amazing pick. I mean, like my personal favorite Mario Kart's the DS version, but I can recognize that Deluxe 8 I think is kind of unquestionably the best one. It's so good.
It's the same thing with Smash, right? It's kind of just become now a museum in a weird way, not in a bad way, but maybe in a weird way. It's no longer about making the best game. It's just like everything's here.
Yeah,
everything's here.
Yeah. Awesome pick though. Kale, let's get your number 8.
Okay. My number 8 best. Wait, is it best games of all time or
it's your favorite?
Okay, good.
Wait, you were like, are you gonna redo it? What's
gonna
happen? Okay, my number 8 favorite game of all time is 625 Sandwich Stacker on Disney.com.
What? Say that one more time for me.
It's 625 Sandwich Stacker. 625 is a character from Lilo and Stitch expanded universe.
Sure looks like it.
And 625 Sandwich Stacker was a flash game on the Disney.com website back when.
Oh my god!
Remember when websites were like good and had like actual content on them? So Disney.com used to have a ton of really great flash games, and this one was my absolute favorite. You are a little alien. The meat, the cheese, the lettuce, tomatoes, and other things are falling from the sky, and you are catching them on your plate to build the best sandwich you can.
Wow.
Now, is it still available to play today, or is it done?
That's a really good question. I didn't have time to look up. I would
Connor, can we get your research department on this?
My research department's on it. I think
Connor, please.
I think that it looks like it's been. I wonder, if I click play now, am I going to get a virus? It's worth trying.
Oh no.
Okay. So it's on unofficial websites.
Oh.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, Kale, this opening music is pretty good.
Wow.
So because Flash was got rid of a few years ago, and so I bet but it looks like it's archived on a few like websites where you can go back and play it. This is not the first time I think someone has mentioned like a Disney.com game on their list before. This is amazing. What era was this for you?
I want to say, when did we get 2003?
Wow.
So I guess what is that? Speak Now for me. Just a little Swifty humor for
I
you.
was wondering if there's gonna be a Swift.
They got me. They got me.
Yeah, this is definitely what's going on. I'm still homeschooled. I'm still just sitting in front of a computer endlessly. And yeah, I love all the games. And that really, I think, is what I love about the whole Flash situation, is like the variety and like addictive quality.
You're blowing my mind. I know there's like a game that's like hidden in my brain that I must have played like
Something
in
like
this
that.
capacity, you know?
Wow.
Love.
I want to see more 625 in like, media.
Is 625 the character?
Prominent character in the TV show.
That's
kind of like a whole sort of curmudgeon thing going on. He was not voiced by who's the guy? He wasn't voiced by Lewis Black, but it was like kind of similar.
The vibe, I see. That was on the breakdown.
Yeah, because Stitch. I'm just talking about Lilo and Stitch now.
This is good.
Which is great. We welcome it.
Experiment 626. So he's the one right before Stitch.
Okay.
So he's more like he's just kind of like a guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. This makes me think of there used to be a game called Kale, you might know it if this was the thing type of stuff you were dabbling in. Disney's Virtual Magic Kingdom. Does this ring a bell? It was kind of like a virtual sort of online Disneyland community that kids could like be a part of and like go play little games, ride little rides.
This is not Toontown though.
This is different than Toontown. But someone like brought this experience on for a regular episode of Call Me by Your Game, and so I'm just up to date on it.
Wow, this is giving me, or it's recalling my memory of Disney's Magic Artist. Did anyone play Disney's Magic Artist?
No, what is that?
Oh, fuck. It was basically their clapback to Mario Paint.
Really?
It's actually
their diss track?
It's actually fantastic. It is a blast.
This looks awesome.
It's a blast.
Wow. And you could play it online or something, or
no? This is a full CD-ROM game. But it just reminded me of how fun that game was.
I would remember the commercials for it. I didn't play it, but I feel like there were really good commercials. Does that sound true?
That does sound true. But yeah, they had all the fun. They had weird, like they had like you can paint with spaghetti and meatballs. You know what I mean? So it really tickled the youth. The youth, and I was probably playing when I was 15. I was like,
that's
I should be eating this.
Kale, you're really fulfilling the promise of your eclectic list already. This is amazing. Oscar, either keep us on the eclectic track or don't. Let's get your number 8.
Great. Yeah. My number 8 track is my number 8 game is Maniac Mansion for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
No way.
Yes. And I heard about the game of a very long time ago. It was originally on computer, and I remember seeing the box art for it. I don't know if I still have it, but I bought it. But I didn't have a computer growing up, but I bought it.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, I just want to stare into, because the cover art of the game was so fascinating to me. And I was a kid who grew up watching horror movies, and to me, I was like, this feels like an 80s horror movie, like box cover. So I was obsessed with it. Like, I just didn't know about it. And then like years later, when I was like in college, someone had a Nintendo and had Maniac Mansion. Wow. And that's how I played it. That's the first time I played it. And I was just obsessed. This was my introduction to like point and click adventure games, which I've never played before. It was like really funny. It was like kind of cool. You could play with all these different types of characters.
A lot of these like archetypes of like high school kids, right? Exactly.
Like 80s horror movie, like people who would die in an 80s horror movie, like you could play as them. And it was awesome. Like it was so good. Never judge a book by its cover art or never judge a game by the cover art, but I did. And I'm happy that I did because this game slaps.
Gambled and you won. Yeah,
I never played this one.
It's so fun.
So if anybody's familiar with the Secret of Monkey Island series, Ron Gilbert is the main designer of the original one of those and this game, and helped start or was like really important in the LucasArts games, which was mostly making a lot of point and click adventures. But I had one other thing I was going to say about this game. Gilbert, Oscar, is who started Humongous Entertainment, the kids video game company that would spin off Humongous Sports, which made Backyard Baseball 2000.
What?
So, like,
we're linked.
Wow.
Yeah, like Freddy Fish, Pajama Sam. But those are all in the lineage of this game.
I forgot
literally
about
from
that.
Gilbert.
I got
Wow.
Yeah. Go ahead and make any adjustments. But Oscar, that's so much fun. I want to talk to you about point and clicks another time too.
I'm obsessed with them. I will play any that come my way, even if they're bad. I will play them all.
My personal favorite that isn't on my top 10, but if anyone would jump, this almost did last year, which was Grim Fandango.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I remember that.
I love the story. Some of the it's a little hard to control. Some of them it's a little tricky. I recommend a game that came out fairly recently. It's called Norco.
Oh,
and it's fantastic. It's incredible.
Awesome. Right. Well, I'll be sure to talk your ear off about those again soon. Well, let's get your number 7 while we're here.
Okay. Yes. My number 7 game. Where's that list?
Oh boy.
My number 7 game. It's I have it on my phone. It's a game that I played all the time. I still play it to this day. It's Dead by Daylight. Ooh. I love it.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's not only like speaks to me as a horror freak, but it's a way I started playing Dead by Daylight during the pandemic when everybody was like, quarantined. And that was the way that I connected with my friends from New York. A lot of my college friends too. That's how we played. And I got to meet new people playing that game, which sounds insane, but I did. I have like a whole crew of people that I play Dead by Daylight with. And I got to like reconnect with my old friends playing this game where we're just like repairing generators and escaping from serial killers. It is so fun and it's completely addictive and you can play forever and ever. And I have, so it's great.
Are there any of the I know they've added like different characters and stuff. Yes. Is there any of that's really popped for you?
I typically don't play as the killers because it's just harder. And I'm typically the good guy and I want to help people. But there's a Chucky expansion. Yeah, I do.
Hey, Oscar, you're in my corner now. Okay.
I would say watching Oscar play was a thrill, and that was all the thrill I needed.
You streamed this, right?
I did stream it, yes. Okay. It's one of the games that I streamed during the pandemic. Yeah, I love it so much. But Chucky, the Chucky expansion is really incredible. There's so many cool killers. Yeah.
If you were going to add a killer, who would you add?
I would add, this is a deep cut, but I would add the Driller Killer from Slumber Party Massacre.
Oh my God. That is a
iconic.
Deep cut.
Yes.
Drill
iconic.
Daddy. He's hot.
Drill Daddy. Yes. Drill Daddy. Especially from Slumber Party Massacre 2 with the guitar as the drill.
Funny.
That'd be fun.
Funny.
Wow. Amazing.
I just want to say really quickly, me and Betsy watched Oscar play for like an hour. And it was all I needed. I was too anxious because I'll play Friday the 13th, but I was a little too anxious to learn Dead by Daylight. But watching Oscar play, what a treat.
I saw some of that too. It was good stuff. Yeah, gave me my fill, I think, too. That's amazing. It's number 7 for Oscar, Dead by Daylight. Kale, let's get your number 7.
Number 7 for me is Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Wow. Love that.
You were a computer kid.
I guess so. Yeah.
That.
It was a computer boy. I guess probably I would say the worst. I loved building the coasters. Obviously, that's so fun. I did also like the kind of like Sims aspect of making someone ride a ride until they got sick and then putting them in a section of the park where they would have to walk and like be trapped with their own vomit or something like that.
Or something. It sounds a little specific, love. or something like that.
You just, that like kind of genre of thing that we all do. I'm just brave enough to admit it. So.
Yeah, I love that one. I liked Sim Theme Park for some reason. That one captured my heart more than Roller Coaster Tycoon. And I don't, again, probably because it was on sale at TJ Maxx. So this one, I like this one.
Sim Theme Park.
It's like the same. It's like the same. I think it's actually dumber than Roller Coaster Tycoon, that's why I loved it. It was a little simpler.
Do you win at games like that? I've never played those games because it always felt like, oh, this is one of those job games.
It's a job.
You definitely can, like, one of the features of Roller Coaster Tycoon is you can play with what's it called? Like you can set a period of time, and it's like you have to have this many people coming to your park by this date.
To me, the scary part. But the scary part is you just become a capitalist. You're like, fuck it, make the hot dogs $10. I can't, you know what I mean? Like you become evil because you're like, I need more money. If I'm going to build this, because people say my park is boring, like you become a capitalist. It's really scary.
I will admit that was not super a concern of mine at the time. maybe now I would. If I played Roller Coaster Tycoon now, I would say no admission and all the rides are free and the rides aren't too scary. They just take you to places you've never been before and you put people on them.
I think you got it all figured out. That's so great. Was this a game that you would just sort of like revisit for like a playthrough, like a challenge, like you were saying, of like one of those parameters, or were you playing this consistently at the time?
I'm a binger.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's another reason that I often don't play as many games as I would like to, because when I do play them, I mean, I wasn't going to move on from Odyssey until I got all of the moons. And
you're a completionist.
Complete. Yep. Yeah. I love to complete. And I love to, with something like Roller Coaster Tycoon that you can't complete. I'm just spending as much time on it as I can until the dopamine stops producing from that. I don't know. Like, I don't know what makes me eventually move on, but it's something you reach that point.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. Kale, number 7, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Mono, what is your number 7?
Okay, it's also a PC game. Ooh, and it is, apropos, you were just saying what you were saying, Kale, because it is The Sims. I'm putting The Sims at 7.
Wow. All right.
It's fun. It's chaos. It's one of those games that truly took over my heart and my brain and my soul and made me not complete schoolwork in a way where I couldn't. It's one of those games where I couldn't control the logical part of my brain anymore because I was like, I have to play this until 3 a.m. and not do my homework. I loved it so much. And I don't like that the new ones are like too complicated. Like I tried playing Sims 4 and it's too complicated. It's like so big and expansive, and like the build mode is complicated, and I miss when it was contained, like 1 through 3 contained, 4 too big.
And you're talking about like if you have to narrow it down, it's the first one for you.
I'm gonna say the first one. Let's go with number 1. Let's keep it simple. Turning your sim gay is one of the great joys of life.
You can do that in the Sims?
Even in the original?
I think you can. Am I wrong?
Or you got some cheat code or something, but wow, congrats.
I think you could, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's just so so good.
A series that I feel that way about, Mono, which is, I don't know if it's a popular opinion, is Animal Crossing. All right, I like the earlier ones that are more simple and it's not so expansive, and you can't terraform your whole island. But but I still like the new one. But that being said, your number 7 was The Sims. What about your number 6?
Oh my gosh, good question. My number 6.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
You guys
coming down to the wire.
I'm scared.
Who was scared?
Raise your hand if you were scared.
I'm going for it. Here we go, motherfucker. Oh God, sorry. Excuse my horrible mouth. Sorry, YouTube. Super Mario World.
All right.
There it is.
There it is.
There it
Honestly,
is.
I thought it was gonna go higher. I thought that was gonna be your number one, to be honest.
It could have, but I'm chaotic. Super Mario World's just amazing. I don't have to, again, I have key childhood memories attached to it. It's goofy, it's fun, it's familiar, it's different. As I'm sure you probably know, Connor, if other people don't, the people who developed this game ruined their lives to bring us a sequel that would basically belong, like that could follow in the footsteps of Super Mario 3. And I don't know, it's just an amazing, silly.
Wait, how did they ruin?
Game.
I don't know about this. How did they ruin their lives?
Like the graphics got weren't even supposed to be that big of a jump. Initially, the graphics were closer in line with Super Mario 3. There's some preview stills you can like find online. But then, of course, with the release of the Super Nintendo, some of the aggressive CEOs at Nintendo were like, no, make it better. Stay. Don't go home. Make it better, bitch. And of course, they were like, yeah, okay, we'll make it better. Yeah. And they did. And so it's I think it's a fascinating story. There's a lot of stuff you can find on YouTube about the creation of Super Mario World.
Yeah, I was in charge. There wouldn't even be no video game would ever have even been finished. I'd just be like, go home, everybody.
Yeah.
There's
Connor, you know more about this than me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great video of anybody interested by one of my favorite YouTube channels called The Gaming Historian, and he's got a great video on the making of this game and Mario 3. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I think I saw that.
Super Mario World, number 6 for Mono.
What makes Super Mario World special for you, Mono?
Oh my God.
Is it Yoshi?
Oh my God, Yoshi.
Mm.
I mean,
it's Wendy.
I love Wendy.
No.
I mean, discovering the subworld, I think, was so special. Like discovering Cookie Mountain and these other bridges and Star World. Are you kidding me? Star World was some special shit.
Yeah.
Spinning up and going wop, 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 to another secret world. I was like, you are over. You hoes are over.
I mean, you're totally right. The scale of this game was so impressive. Yeah. It just didn't feel like the game ever stopped. You're like, oh, well, there's more. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more.
It was so big. And then for some reason, when you clear the game, you become a basketball man. Have you seen this?
What?
When you like clear the game, look it up. When you like clear the game and you clear everything,
you like put on a jersey.
Mario dunks.
The Goombas become like basketball people.
What?
I'm dead serious. Look this up. I'm dead serious. They become like the Goombas look different after you clear the game 100%.
Now, what's the story there?
In the
lore, you killed all the Goomba. You've like completely eviscerated the Goomba species.
I don't know. It's a really weird thing. If anyone's listening, please make me not sound crazy.
Are we saying they turn into basketballs? Like the Goombas are basketballs, or like they have a jersey
basketball
on?
Heads. They have like weird.
Oh, they have round heads instead of like pointy heads.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Do you know? Is there a picture? Are you seeing it?
I can't find anything.
My God. Okay.
The government took all the evidence off the internet.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up, but keep going with the list, please.
But I love that. You're number 6. Really strong 6. Kale, what about yours?
I chose for me and my number 6. I chose Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
Oh, plot twist. Wow.
Love that. That's
obsessed.
On the
obsessed.
Game Boy. Talk to us.
I just loved it. I think ultimately I prefer handheld gaming over console gaming.
Mm-hmm.
The Game Boy Advance was like the peak of my life, the peak of my
no, you said life.
The peak of my life. Definitely the era that I was like playing the most video games and trying the most things. And I don't know, I just don't think you can beat, like, I don't know anything about what makes a video game good, but even I can look at that and be like, well, the levels are perfect, the music is perfect, the like everything about it.
Are you someone who likes to lead with Donkey Kong or Diddy?
Oh, Diddy. I'm cartwheeling everywhere.
I agree with that. I agree with this.
Yeah.
I love it. What an amazing game. I'd love to play. I've never played the GBA version. I did dabble with the Donkey Kong Land series on the Game Boy, which was like a really slimmed down version of that series for the most part. They may have made some changes too. But I love that, Kale, for your number 6. Oscar.
It's a great game.
Let's get
so
yours.
Good. For 6, this is a PC game. It's The Seventh Guest.
Whoa,
The
fancy.
Seventh Guest. So like in high school, I had a friend named Armando who introduced me to emulators, you know, and I was just like, what you could do. That's how I learned. That's how I played Pokemon. That's how I played all the, like, any Super Nintendo, any Nintendo RPGs. But he also introduced me to The Seventh Guest, which is a PC sort of like puzzle game, very creepy, and it has possibly the worst acting of all time. I mean, it's
and you love that.
So incredible. It's like,
love that.
I mean, for me, it was like, this is camp. Like, I was like,
it sounds like a
am I gay
movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were trying to make it like a Buñuel movie, but the execution, it's more a John Waters movie.
Is it like Sega CD? Like where there was like,
yes, it's like live action. Yes, there were like live actors, but it was also like 3D effects. The story is very cool, very like creepy. The puzzles are like fun, and at the time I remember challenging. But to me, the thing that stood out is the acting, the storyline, is just the performances were so awful in an incredible way. And also I liked, discovering little like Easter eggs in the game. If you click this thing a certain time, it like moves and there's like a secret cinematic in there. So for me, it sort of like started this, because before Seventh Guest, I was really into like platformers, and it's not much story with platformers, but this one was just like, okay, I'm invested in the story of this game.
Can I read a fact? I just looked up the Wikipedia, and there's a really fun fact on it. It says this game, The Seventh Guest, alongside Myst, is widely regarded as a killer app that accelerated the sales of CD-ROM drives.
Wow.
So it was so desirable. It and Myst were so popular that people who previously didn't have like CD-ROM drives were like, well, I guess I have to get one now because I have to play this game.
What?
Oh,
cool.
This game also, Oscar, did you know got a VR remake in like the last year?
Yes. I haven't played it yet, but I heard it was great. It won awards and stuff. So
I heard the same.
Oscar, you love, so many of your games are like pushing new tech, pushing video games into like new spaces with the pedometer, and now this one is like making people go out and buy their first computer. You're such I'll say
innovator.
You're ahead of the curve in a way that I think is
maybe the COVID curve. Maybe.
Oh, you can't stand it when I get compliments. you can't stand when I get compliments.
The Seventh Guest, your 6th pick. Let's stay with you for number 5.
Number 5. Okay.
Top 5.
This is a game that I played so much during the PlayStation era. Oh my gosh. And then I stopped playing it for a very long time, but nothing beats the opening cinematic. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and we'll just watch the opening cinematic of this game. It's iconic. It is Parasite Eve. I love this game. It is weird. It's scary. It's got like is it Squaresoft? Who made Parasite Eve?
I thought it was like Enix or Square, whatever they were
something
named
like
back
that.
then.
I mean, it's got that Squaresoft insanity of like too much storyline happening. You're like confused the entire time, and I couldn't even tell you what the storyline really was, but you got a kick-ass female protagonist, you got a kick-ass female villain. It was so great. You got some of the best cinematics ever. I will never forget where the rat turns into a monster and you see it sort of like turn into this goo beast, and then the rat turns into, and then you got to kill it. It's great. I love it. Parasite Eve, number 5.
It's isn't it like a turn-based RPG?
Yes.
As well,
this looks awesome.
But you sort of freed run, and then the way that it works, it's like when you do the command, it has like a sort of like sphere around the area of effect, so you can like sort of calibrate your strategy based on where you are. It's really great, and yeah, that mechanic doesn't really exist anymore in any other game, but it was a cool mechanic. I really loved it. And I'm just waiting for that remaster. Yeah. I'm just waiting for it, and it's crazy that it hasn't happened yet. But
Oscar, do you read manga?
I do.
They made a manga out of it. It's called Parasite Eve Diva.
Ooh.
Diva.
I know that.
Devolve?
Diva, D-I-V-A.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah. It's also very gay too. It's like, women in power equals gay, So for me, I was just like, yes, I'm getting my gay life. But, I think the video game was based off of like a set of novels that he turned. Anyway, whatever. It's a great game. If you haven't seen it, just please watch on YouTube and watch the cinematic.
Campaign, and even the ad campaign like stuck with me as being like so really sexy and hot and cool.
It's fucking hot.
Hot. I wanted
these pixels are hot.
These pixels are hot.
Nothing's hotter than a blurry polygon character in a PlayStation. Yoko,
I preferred when Lara Croft had her triangular cake slice. Her cake slice boobs. They were hotter to me.
Slices.
They were much better than the new job she got.
Connor, have you ever done an episode that's like the sexiest?
Oh, you should.
Video game characters,
sexiest
or like
game of all time. I haven't. Jeremy did an episode of Video Games, a comedy show about horny games.
Yeah,
so that's like not quite the
sexy
same, but sexy.
What was that main one that I walked past at the Blockbuster all the time? It was like Conker's Bad Day or
Conker's Bad
Fur Day.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Yeah,
I was so intrigued.
They're sick in the head.
I would walk down the aisle of the Blockbuster just to sneak a peek at the cover.
Kale's been walking up and down that aisle for about 15 minutes. That's awesome, Oscar. I also saw that. I forgot the composer is Yoko Shimomura, one of like the greatest.
I did not know that.
Video game composers ever.
But the music does slap. I'm telling y'all, Parasite Eve. When is it gonna come back?
We'll celebrate the day that it does. Thank you. We're over halfway through your list now. And Kale, let's go to your number 5.
For me, for number 5, I chose Fire Emblem.
Ooh. Which one?
The
GBA first one?
GBA. Yeah, the first one. I think in Japan it's called Blazing Sword.
That sounds right.
But this was, like what Mono was saying earlier, just a true blind buy. I just like went into, I don't know, probably a GameStop or equivalent, some kind of like store like that, and just thought the cover looked cool, and then took it home and loved the story.
That's so good. Do you keep up with the series now, or do you like games like this?
I would like to do a better job of that. I did play Three Houses.
Cool.
And I did really enjoy that. That felt like a fun return to form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. If it's different than Three Houses in some ways, but if you ever want to try Engage, you can I have it on cartridge, so you'd be welcome to borrow it. I really liked Engage.
Wait, you're talking about the Nokia N-Gage?
Yeah, if you want to borrow my N-Gage, you can anytime.
I remember
that. Is it
so dumb?
What's it like? Pitch it to me.
So very similar combat as Three Houses. No sort of, school monastery type thing. It's more of like a group of heroes banding together in like a sort of ethereal palace to fight evil. And the maps, I've been told, are way more like varied in this game. And the combat's actually the strength of this one rather than the narrative.
Okay.
Yeah.
I accept.
Fire Emblem, the GBA, just killing it on this list, Kale. Mono.
When you've only played so many video games, you get the best ones.
There you go. Mono, let's get your number 5.
My number 5 is Capcom's, I believe, Turtles in Time.
Konami, I think.
Oh, Konami, of course, because they have the code. Amazing, so fun, and more than anything, it's like the 1990s on a single Super Nintendo cartridge. It's fun. It's multiplayer. The pace is bullet fast. You get to travel in time. At the time, I remember being my ass blasted by the graphics. It's so good.
They were that good.
My ass got blasted by the graphics. No, but it's just fun. I have good memories. And it's like a game that's especially back then when you had a game that was that replayable. Because we all know the pain of being a child and buying an expensive, bad, awful game.
That you beat in like an hour.
Nothing is worse.
Yeah.
Or just like unbeatable. Like Nintendo's Low G Man. Like an unbeatable hard game.
Yeah.
But
who was your main?
I am a Donatello girl.
Yes.
All right.
Correct answer.
Yeah. How about y'all?
Donatello.
Kale.
Yes, I'm gonna say Donatello.
Oh my
I think I liked Raphael.
Yeah.
Okay, bad boy. I am okay, knowing myself. And for years I would have not admitted this, but I know I'm a Leonardo.
Yeah, there you go.
Great.
Yeah, you are Leonardo.
I was embarrassed of it for a while. Now
Why?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the main. She's the main.
I feel like Michelangelo's kind of the embarrassing one.
Oh, he's the party dude. I think he's
the party
kind
dude.
of in right now.
He's a bit much.
He's a bit much. He's too much. Giving too much.
Mono, did you play the Super Nintendo and the arcade version of this game?
I did.
Both are fantastic.
Both are amazing. And then that new remake, that sort of Shredder's
Revenge
game,
yeah.
That game kicked ass.
Very
and
good.
The playable characters they added, that game was really fun. So yeah, Turtles in Time was just so good.
Oh my gosh, was it not gaggy when you like threw the foot soldiers at the screen?
Yes.
Like towards yourself?
Oh my God.
I was like, what? Yeah.
Blew
So
my
cool.
mind.
Blasted your ass.
It blasted my ass. Yeah, it was great. I wasn't even on the toilet and my ass was blasted. But yeah, Turtles in Time.
I love it. Truly an all-timer, still like a pinnacle of like that genre. Well, let's get number 4 while we're here with you.
Oh, I'm 4 too. So for me, 4 is get this. Okay, no one knows this game, but I love it so much, and I've been playing it for the past 3 or 4 years. There's a game on Switch called Dorfromantik. Dorfromantik. Dorfromantik.
Okay.
One word?
One word.
One word. So very German
Sure.
sounding.
Yeah, I'll have to believe you on that because I'm not educated.
What the heck?
It is so good. Again, I love a flow state game. This you will lose. I have played this game for 6 hours on a plane, and it has felt like 40 minutes. It is so fun. The game is like you have hexagons of land, and you're trying to match the land pieces to correspond with forests touching forests, or water touching water, train stations touching train stations, so on and so forth. And
it's giving Settlers of Catan energy.
It is, but it's so simple. The music is amazing. It looks good. And it's one of those games that if you get into it, you could be playing a game for weeks if you like get into building and building and building.
Whoa.
Is this something you're like picking up and playing for a little bit of time and putting it down, or you do kind of sink a lot? Okay.
You can put it down. It's better if you're playing at the same, for a while, but you can easily put it down and pick it back up.
Okay, cool.
It's cool. And there's like different ways to play it to kind of progress because you start with a finite level of land tiles, and then when you complete challenges or connect a certain number of trees together, you get more tiles.
Work. How'd you found out about this game?
I think I found it just like doing some research on like a review website. You know what I mean? Like I'll occasionally check your IGNs or your Nintendo Insider. And I just read a couple reviews there. Everyone was like, holy shit, if this is the kind of game you like, it's really the kind of game you like. So it's not for everyone, but again, flow state games are for me. Anything that's like kind of calming, I'm obsessed with.
That's cool.
The music is so good. Yeah, please go play it if you're listening.
The name
so good.
Is a German word that combines Dorf, which means village, and romantic, which is like a Romanian door-to-door salesman.
Oh.
So it means like village life, village guy.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah. That's my pick.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Pick.
Hey, don't apologize. Number 4.
We forgive you.
I love it. Kale, let's get your number 4.
Number 4 for me, I do like being scared. And so I think I need Oscar to give me some horror games. But I like this game because it's so scary. And well, to me, it's all right. I'll just say it. It's Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
I was waiting for one of these.
Never played Resident Evil 4.
Me neither.
What?
It's the only Resident Evil game I've never played.
What?
Is there a particular reason? That's just kind of surprising to me.
I mean, I missed the GameCube period of games. And then I just never had the opportunity.
That's sad, Oscar. That's sad.
I think it has a lot of things that
okay, sell
like.
It to me, Kale.
The characters are very campy. There's a lot of like, especially in the original, some like the remake is really great gameplay, but especially in the original, you're getting some really on the nose dialogue delivered in the most somehow both the most emotive and the most robotic fashion possible. The story beats are so fun. You like being surprised in games. There's like really fun twists and turns. And then it's, what is there to say? What is more fun in this life than killing zombies?
True.
Yeah.
In this life.
I've done a lot. I've never done anything I've enjoyed more than shooting a Las Plagas infected corpse in the head.
Yeah. Those games, again, that one in particular, because that one was on Wii, right?
Wii?
There was a Wii version.
Was there?
Yeah.
Did you use the controller to...
They just keep putting it out. For a while, they just kept putting it out on the, like, over and over again. But yes, with the Wii, you could use the attachment to aim.
It was really scary. And I of course played that with Betsy. We really shit our pants to the point where I want to say the cops came.
Okay.
What?
Mono, the last game blasted your ass. This game, you're diarrheaing on the couch. What's going on with
I live life too loud. Yeah, no, it's a really fun. It's too scary. I love that game, but I haven't played too much because it's like it takes courage to play that game.
When I was playing it, I was playing it a lot in the pandemic. I went into kind of like a Resident Evil hole that Connor's heard about. And I only was able to pull myself out when I started reading the novelizations. I was like, whoa, this is like too far. But I had to make a rule that I couldn't play after a certain time of the day.
Of course.
Because it would make it hard to sleep.
That's 4 is I've only played 2 remake and I adored it. 4's on my list. I own the Wii version on my Wii U, but I do want to play the remake because I've heard so many good things about it. That
came out 2 years ago?
Last year, I think.
Last year? Okay, wow.
2 years ago was village.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
I still think of you, Kale, with Resident Evil because of your journey that you went on and talking about it on your episode.
You really helped me a lot when I was going through that.
Huge. That's just what I do, guys. I love it. Resident Evil 4 in your number 4. Amazing. Oscar, let's pivot to you. What is your number 4?
My number 4 pick is it's iconic. This is the game that I defaulted in college that I literally forced every single person to play. It's WarioWare Smooth Moves.
Oh,
speaking of the Wii.
Yes.
It's perfect. Any WarioWare game, and of course there's like hits and misses, but every single WarioWare game is perfect in my eyes. It's so fun. It's so stupid. The idea of micro games is like a duh. Yes, of course. And it is like the dumbest game to play with a bunch of people. Smooth Moves, I think, is the best of the WarioWare series. Because of the Wii controller, the Joy-Cons, and the weird, just how weird all those micro games are. It's absolutely chef's kiss. It is the peak of that franchise.
Love.
It's so perfect. I love that game so much.
Hey,
And that's the one too where they're like, drop the controller, like put it down on the table.
Yes.
That one's amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
This is definitely my personal favorite in the series, and I love most of them. And I still think I played it by myself. It was so much fun, and I associate these as like group party games.
Totally.
Gosh, I really want to get this
It's so
for the
good.
Wii
They
someday.
speaking of Game Boy Advance, the one on Game Boy Advance was so good.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one, actually.
That
was the first one?
Yeah.
It's so good. I remember attaching it to my Game Boy player on my fucking GameCube so I could play with friends.
Wow.
That is
commitment.
That's committed.
Is the new one good? Anyone? Should I get that new one?
I have not played the new one.
I had a great time with it at a party. I don't own it. I did own the one before that came out on Switch, and I really enjoyed it. But it was a little different. You controlled like the characters for every game.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a little different. I wasn't super on board with it, but listen, it's still fun. It's still a good time.
Yeah. Oscar, amazing. Number 4. Let's get your number 3.
Okay. Number 3 is a weird one. Again, I've only played it because of the emulator. I had a hacked PlayStation, one of those fixed PlayStations that my friend hooked me up with. And one of the games I played was sorry. One of the games that I played is a game called Vib Ribbon.
Oh my goodness.
And it is like really the Venn diagram of me and video games, just like the perfect Oscar video game. So what it is, it's like a weird like rabbit that you control, and it's a bunch of squiggles. Like everything is like really rudimentary, like just line drawings.
Yes.
And you press buttons based on the rhythm. It's a rhythm game of the beat. But the cool thing about this game, Vib Ribbon, is that it works with any CD on the PlayStation. So you can have a CD and you could put it in the game, and it'll
cool.
And it will like do that song in the game. What? And it like blew my mind that you could do that.
Because you used to be able to put a disc, like a Smash Mouth was going to be the example. I'm so sorry. In your PS1, and would it remember that so you could play other games while you listen to the music?
Yes.
Or how did it work?
It would you can play the track. You took the game, and then you took the game out, and then you put a CD in.
Okay.
Any CD that you wanted, and then you can it asks you which track that you want to play. Then you played the track. You can play the whole CD if you wanted to. So it was incredible. And there was no other game like it.
And it was responding to the music?
It was responding to the music. And then it just knew where to hit the buttons in a way that wasn't annoying. Because there's games like that you're just like, okay, this doesn't quite sync up exactly. But with Vib Ribbon, it tracked 100% of the songs that I had. It was great. I had Fiona Apple's Tidal, which is not like a boppy CD, but like even with that song, Never Is a Promise, I remember the song Never Is a Promise. I like played that and it like played and it was like a full level. It was great. Vib Ribbon is iconic, but it was never released in the States. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Vib Ribbon is an insanely amazing game.
You're telling me you're playing Vib Ribbon while listening to Slow Like Honey?
Yeah. And Heavy with Mood. Yep.
Wow.
What a creative game. That's amazing. Thank you, Oscar. Kale, let's get your number 3.
My number 3 game is Chips Challenge.
What?
Chippendale or
something?
No, Chips Challenge was a lot of the games, a lot of my life, let's be honest, is like just making use of like what's available to me and not necessarily like pushing the boundaries and finding things. So this is a game that is just was just on the first computer that we had, similar to like a solitaire or a pinball or a Pipe Dream. You remember Pipe Dream?
I think I've even played this game.
Wow.
It's a puzzle game where you're a little guy, Chip, and you are going through the puzzles trying to collect computer chips. And there's not really like any lore or anything. I mean, it's easy to project a story onto that. You obviously, you got shrunk down and you're living in the computer and you're trying. That's the story I told myself anyway. But it was just a perfect, like, what are you going to do? It just was there and it's so good. The puzzles are so.
Wow. Yes. I
love.
Wow.
I definitely played this. This
genre is like ski free. Yeah.
I can't believe it. Chips Challenge.
I don't know how I missed this.
Of all the games on my list, it's the one that I'm most likely to, after we're done here, be like, I'm going to play this again. Right?
Yes.
Oh.
I just read somewhere that it had like 148 different levels in this game.
Ooh.
That's what I loved about it as a kid. It felt like endless, like you could really like keep going and keep getting new content.
It also looks like this has been ported to Switch.
Okay.
Sign me up.
So, yeah, we know your plans tonight.
You ready to get your ass blasted, Kale?
Yeah, Kale.
By Chip and his challenge.
Call the cops. I'm shitting on my couch getting my ass blasted by Chip.
You just, sweetie, good news. My ass is about to get blasted.
That's so good. What? Just Kale, this list just keeps getting better. Number 3 is Chip Challenge. Mono, what about your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be Inside. I mean,
very Oscar of you.
About thank you. This game is just amazing. It is. You get dropped into this narrative. This doesn't give anything away. You get dropped into a narrative where you're like running away and you don't know where you are and you're like disoriented in the game as you're figuring out the rules. The narrative is beautiful. The graphics are stunning. And the ending, which we won't give away, is to me the most shocking ending in video game history.
Wow.
Has anyone finished the game or played the game?
I played it. I actually played it with Mark Rennie. Yeah.
Oh.
He had it and it was so fantastic.
Would you agree it's shocking?
It's shocking. It's great. They give you so little in terms of like plot that you have to sort of do the work of like figuring out what's going on. And then by the end, and the very last image, Mono, is so incredible.
It's sad. It's beautiful. You're happy. You're confused. It's insane. Anyone else finished it or no?
I just played Limbo.
By
the same, another great game.
Limbo's good, but Inside's better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please play Inside. I think it is. I was tempted to make it number 1, but it is unbelievable. Yeah, and it's kind of simple too.
Yeah,
it's like very simple cat and mouse mechanics. I love it.
It's amazing. Well, that's your number 3, but what? Mono is your number 2.
Okay, runner up.
No one's gonna like this. But is
No one's gonna like it.
I was gonna like this. Tetris for Nintendo 64. I think it was called the new Tetris or Tetris 64. I don't know what we're calling
That's amazing.
Okay, what makes that one different than the other Tetrises?
This is the best Tetris game because they introduced a system which has not come back ever since, which is shocking. They introduced this new system of creating squares, which gold and silver squares. So basically, you can use the Tetris pieces to create bigger squares that are worth more lines. So, for example, if you stack 4 Tetris squares together, you now have a gold big square that is worth 4 times the number of lines. And because all Tetris pieces can be rearranged into a bigger square, depending on you're using L's or the 3-pointy. And that system, I don't know why we abandoned it. I honestly think it's some sort of as Tetris always is, some sort of litigation issue where whoever created that version might not be the person who holds the copyright, all that Tetris drama. And the music was fucking cool. And again, you can play it mindlessly for hours.
Mono, did you know that they released a peripheral? Speaking of peripherals, for the Nintendo 64 for this game specifically, where it was essentially like a heart rate monitor where you plug this thing into the back of the 64 controller, you put it on one of your fingers, I believe, and the higher your heart rate goes, the quicker the Tetris becomes.
Oh my God. No, I did not know that.
One of the wild, I love, and I've done a whole episode before on all the peripherals for the 64 controller, and this is up there as far as one of the stranger but fun ones.
That is so strange. I missed it completely.
Yeah.
It's that I would hate that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah, you're already stressed enough.
Yeah, I don't need the game to know my game plan. Yeah, but again, without being too harping on it, one of those rare games where you're like, who made this music?
Yes.
And why is it so good? The music was really addictive, which of course is important when you are playing a game like Tetris, which, you can play for so long. The songs that repeat have to be really specifically designed.
That's just such an amazing pick, though. I love that for your number 2. Tetris 64. Kale.
Anyone who can help me find a good emulation copy, I think I just need to get a Steam Deck, right? Because it's easy to get copies on there, right?
I would assume so, but I've not.
Okay.
I haven't dabbled, so I can't. I'm not the best resource there.
Okay.
Weren't you just trash talking me earlier for using emulators? Now you want to get in on it too?
Interesting. This is a setup. I'm actually working for the FBI. Whoever messages me will be arrested.
Yeah, FBI, Fat Butts Incorporated.
Oh,
okay, very nice. Speaking of the FBI, Kale, let's get your number 2.
You ate
You ate that transition, Connor. I chose Super Smash Brothers Melee. And I chose it because I love it and I'm really good at it. And I think it was the best that the game was before it kind of, it expanded the roster and the items in a really fun way without it feeling like, to Mano's point earlier, like something, I guess
collection
for everybody, so it's also probably the video game that has caused the most aggression and fights in my own personal life.
No way.
Totally.
It's got your Fire Emblem boys in there too.
Oh yeah.
Is Melee the Wii version? What was Melee? What system was the Melee?
GameCube.
I think it's GameCube.
GameCube. Okay.
I love that one.
Yeah.
And some people call it like too fast, right? Aren't some people like it's too fast?
I think so. Yeah, it's very quick.
Yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Kale, who was your main in this game?
Jigglypuff.
Jiggly.
I love Jigglypuff.
I would love to play with you because I don't know how you do that well.
With
Jigglypuff in Melee is great. And then I believe the term, I'm really going to get crucified by the live stream. I believe the term is nerfed. I think they nerfed Jigglypuff after that point. But in Melee, Jiggly's very, very powerful and fast enough that you can actually like take advantage of their moves. I also have always been a really big Ness fan.
Okay.
Ness is tricky for me, yeah. But people who play Ness are slay.
Yeah, they will kill you. They will. I'm scared of those people.
I love his like mid-range kind of style.
Let me ask you a very fair question.
Quickly.
Who the hell plays with Yoshi?
Oh.
I'm sure someone, but I don't know them.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably
that one always puzzled me.
So sound off in the comments if you play as Yoshi. Hashtag Yoshi fans.
Now that I think about it, my best friend's older brother was a Yoshi main back in the day. Yes, and he would kick our butts with Yoshi.
Big time.
I love that. I love that everyone's so different in that game.
And there's room for everybody.
Gosh.
Let's just say that.
Who's your main mono?
I'm between. Can I say two, or do you want me to pick one?
Yeah.
It's on my podcast. I don't know.
My two absolute faves are Kirby and Bowser.
Sure.
Okay.
I love the raw power of Bowser. It is just so gratifying when you get an up B shell grind on someone with Bowser. And I mean Kirby too. You get an up B blade on someone. So satisfying.
Big time.
And especially in the 64 one, I was Kirby all the way. But yeah, I like those two the most. Oscar?
I don't have a main. I like playing with random.
Okay. Random's I mean, as someone who played this game for too many hours, I also liked that. But Adult Link is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I still remember going to my best friend's house the day after Christmas in 2001 because he got a GameCube, and I remember seeing the opening cinematic, and this is a story I've told a million times on the show, but all I could say was, it's a movie.
Well, buddy,
just so captured by it, and I still think it holds up.
It's a gorgeous movie.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. One of my favorite top 10. It's on my top 10 movies list. Oscar, we are back to you.
Oh my God.
First, for your second favorite game of all time.
Yes. My second favorite game of all time is obviously Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It is the best fighting game ever made of all time. I am so glad I get to own it now on the Switch. And yeah, it's great. It's perfect. The roster is humongous, and it's like very nicely balanced too. It's like you have a roster of 74, 75 characters from the Capcom world, from the Marvel world, which I was like, what the this is insane. But yeah, everyone's really balanced. And the cool thing is that you play with 3 characters. It's not like Marvel Superheroes, which was 2 characters, or Marvel Capcom 1, which is 2 characters and then like an assist that isn't part of the main roster. Like these 3 are your buddies, right? And it's just so great. The difficulty balance after each level is so well done in a way that like very few fighting games actually have. The last boss is incredible. It's just the best fighting game ever, and almost the best game of all time. The music, that jazz music throughout the entire score, is so weird. Who ever thought to put jazz music with a fighting game is insane. Like, but it works so well. It's fantastic. And
what would you have put there instead, Fiona Apple?
I mean,
okay.
Criminal on repeat. All the levels are just Criminal.
Release you. That's for the Fiona fans.
Yes. Do you have like for your final match ever had to have your group of 3? What's the group, and do you know the order?
Ooh.
Okay, so I've gotten very good at playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that my party was typically, it started with Sakura, and then Roll, who is seen as sort of like a shitty character, but I loved having her because I love beating people up with Roll. And I would have either Venom or Captain Commando on that list.
Wow. It's the Morrigan erasure for me.
Oh, Morgan is cute. Listen,
she's on that one, right?
She's on. Hey, you say any character, they're probably on the game.
How many of the Darkstalkers made it onto that one?
Just two. My girl Felicia and Morgan.
You want to talk
ladies?
Horny.
Yeah, I mean, girl.
Ladies.
The ladies. Felicia was another one of my. You know, I'm gonna replace Captain Commando and pick Felicia.
I'll allow it. Okay.
Hi, Felicia.
Okay, Oscar. Huge moment.
The number one game.
Cap us off. Give us your favorite game of all time.
It's no secret. Any video game podcast I'm a guest on, I will talk about this game till the end of time. I've talked about this game forever. It's Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest.
Wow.
It's the perfect game. Period. Full stop. End of story. Case closed. There is no better game that exists.
Wow.
Than Donkey Kong Country 2. Best platforming. Like
clever title.
Really fun. Hey, Diddy, like this feels like a Diddy sort of hive.
Mm-hmm.
The Diddy fans love it. The Dixie girlies are obsessed. You know, the amount of hidden collectibles is just so much. The difficulty level. Listen, it's a hard game, but the real ones who are patient enough, like, will get the most out of it. It's just the perfect game.
It's amazing. If it's my favorite in the series, if you want to hear Oscar and I talk, at length about this game, we did a Games Club episode all about Donkey Kong Country 2. It's on the Games Club feed. If you search Super NPC Games Club, anywhere you listen to shows, you'll find that episode if you scroll down. Oscar, amazing. Will you go ahead and count from 10 to 1 for me and just recap your list now?
Oh, okay. Here we go. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
At number 10, BioShock. 9, Pokemon Soul Silver. 8, Maniac Mansion. 7, Dead by Daylight. 6, The Seventh Guest. Interesting. It should have been 7. Oh, well.
Just said that.
5, Parasite Eve. 4, WarioWare Smooth Moves. 3, Vib Ribbon. 2, Marvel's Capcom 2. And 1, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest.
Love. Wow. It's a great game.
By all accounts, a perfect list.
Perfect.
And
thank you.
We'll turn to Kale to cap off another perfect list.
Can you believe we're about to get a theme park ride that's carts? Can you believe?
I love it. It's time.
That we're getting that?
Do we deserve it?
No. But yes. Okay, I'm sorry.
We
Go
want
ahead.
it.
We want it.
Kale, if you're ready, I'd love to hear your favorite game of all time.
I am ready, and I think Connor, you probably already know what it is.
I think I can guess these last two.
Wait.
Or no, sorry, the last two for you and Mono.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, you have to give us your number 0.
I forgot. I chose Paper Mario as my favorite game.
Oh,
wow.
Well, it's all my favorite things. Cute aesthetic, a blind buy that really worked out for me. And I think I could play it over and over and over again.
This is like a perfect game in my mind too. I know we just talked about one, but I think this is another. As much as I love and probably prefer Thousand Year Door, this is I could hear arguments for why this is better. For its simplicity almost feels derogatory, but it's just like perfect package of a game. Yeah, and such a cool premise. And yeah, this one is just so special. And your episode was so good talking about this game.
I mean, what a privilege and an honor to discuss the gospel of this game.
So good. Kale, did you like that new one? Were you happy with that new one on Switch?
Origami King?
I think so.
Yeah, it was like
cute.
it was definitely a step in the right direction because they just like really, really shat the bed with. Ooh. It's just confusing to me. Like I don't
that Wii
understand. Sticker Star, I think.
Yeah, that was woof.
I guess I just don't know like the politics and the behind the scenes, but I know it's probably not the best selling franchise of all time, but like Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door were both just so unique, especially I think in the Nintendo space, and like making an accessible version of that like style of game. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't keep going down that. It just from a business standpoint, I'm like, there's more there. There's like a lot you could do that people would respond to. So I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was, but Origami King was a step in the right direction for sure. Yeah.
Cool. I don't know how much you've seen, Kale, but there have been a lot of questions posed to like Nintendo executives or developers over the years about this, and it's one of those things where the answer is just really dissatisfying. What you hear from them, but
I want them to sit down with Barbara Walters so we can finally get the truth of what happened. What did they say? What do they typically?
It's kind of a lot of dancing around the question and being like, well, we decided, Miyamoto didn't want us to make original characters in the Mario universe anymore. But then I also don't know why they strayed from the like turn-based battle system, which seemed to also work for everybody.
Yes.
But Kale, will you count up from 10 to 1 for me?
Yes, I will. And let me pull it up again. Okay. Number 10, Frogger. Number 9, Mega Man Battle Network. Number 8, 625 Sandwich Stacker.
This now, if someone were to tune in now, I think they'd think these are all bits because your smirk and the way you're delivering this.
Yeah.
7, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Number 6, Donkey Kong Country Game Boy Advance. Number 5, Fire Emblem. Number 4, Resident Evil 4.
Perfect.
Number 3, Chips Challenge. Number 2, Super Smash Brothers Melee. And number 1, Paper Mario.
Gorgeous. This leaves but only one game remaining. Mono.
Good.
Final game.
The actual GOAT. Good.
Act the fool.
This game, my number 1 game of all time. And everyone's going to be very shocked, gagged, gooped. It is, of course.
A Mario game?
Maybe. It's Super Mario Brothers 3.
Wow.
Bye, everyone. This is the original good game. I literally believe this is the original good video game. Because before this, there were no good video games. And that's a motherfucking fact.
Oh, not too much.
It's like the birth of a nation of video games.
Don't compare me to that film.
Yes, Mono is the D.W. Griffith of video game.
100%.
It's the first. I honestly believe this. You can disagree, but it is the first great video game. Every other video games were cute. These games are cute. Oh, that's cute.
We're doing something new here.
Oh, it's cute. You just play forever until it gets faster and faster and faster, and it's impossible to play. That's cute. But this was a world. Obviously, the first one built a world, but this one really built a world. Gave us power-ups. I mean, we all know the impact of the Tanuki suit. I don't have to tell you this. It captured the nation's imagination, the world's imagination. It's an amazing
Introduced us to Tanukis.
Yeah.
In general, in the West.
The music still gives me goosebumps. If I ever were to walk down an aisle, I would like to hear the music you hear when
at the grocery store.
The wand. If I had a trad wedding and I was gonna walk down an aisle, I want to hear the
You give Trader Joe's employees like your playlist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like play this. Go ahead.
I want to hear that music. I just think it's amazing.
The fact that we all recognize what that music is kind of iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Catching the Wand music is to me one of the most beautiful arrangements that humans have ever made.
Mm-hmm. And the only way to do it is to jump into the catch, right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Catching it on the ground is humiliating.
Picking up the sloppy wand seconds.
Yeah, getting down on your knees, showing your fat. Anyway.
Flutes, transporting to new worlds, big worlds, getting in a little boat. I mean, this game is insane. Also like the little like word of mouth secrets this game introduced, like that. I miss that tradition in video games. It's amazing. I love this game.
Super Mario Brothers 3. Just an all-timer. Mono, why don't you count up your list as well?
For me, I said it was gross for me. Number 10, Celeste. Number 9, Microsoft's Midtown Madness. Number 8, Mario Kart 8. Number 7, The Sims. Number 6, Super Mario World. Number 5, Turtles in Time. Number 4, Dwarf Romantic. Number 3, Inside. Number 2, Tetris 64, aka the new Tetris. Number 1, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Beautiful. I do want to extend the invitation to any of you sweethearts. I know a few people expressed the interest in naming some honorable mentions.
A room of 3 people, and Connor says a few people.
I know that every single one of you.
I'm not going to name names, but
a few people.
Let's just say I've heard from multiple people out of this group of 3.
Yeah. Okay. We just shout them out.
Go for it. Yeah.
Killer Instinct Gold.
Yes.
That one was fun.
Yes.
What happened to Killer Instinct? Can we not get a revival?
There is a revival, but it's not good.
Oh, it was bad. Shit. Okay. That's one. Who else?
Oh, we all taking turns saying one. Oh, okay.
I want to.
You can rapid fire if you want. Green light.
Yeah, I'm just gonna list all mine. And
yeah, go ahead, Mono. Go ahead. List all of yours.
I'll finish my list. Mario Party, Boom Blocks on the Wii, The Incredible Machine, and Crash Bandicoot.
Awesome. Yeah, Kale, what about you?
My honorable mentions are Pokemon Gold, Trace Memory, Mario Party mini games, GoldenEye, and Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing.
Yeah.
Now that's a list. Oscar, any last ones you'd like to shout out?
Yes. 15 to 11 goes as such. Mario Kart Double Dash.
Ooh.
Wow.
Dragon Age Inquisition. Samurai Showdown 2. Breath of Fire 3. And Katamari Damacy.
See, I thought that would be on your list for sure.
It almost did. It almost was.
Because it's funky. It's so funky.
Well, you all 3 won. You did the impossible. You collected a list of your 10 favorite games of all time, which I know that none of you are going to message me later and be like, oh shit, I forgot this game. Please forgive me. This has been so much fun. On our way out, I want to invite our guests to plug anything that they'd like to today. Mono, I'll start with you. Is there anything you want the listeners to know about, places that people should find you on the internet?
Sure. Just follow me at my name, Mono Agapian, on Instagram. Go listen to my drag podcast if you like drag. I do a drag podcast called Drag Her Podcast. And if you are traveling in the world, come see me do improv in freaking Edinburgh from August 19th to 26th with Holy Shit Improv.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Thanks again for being here.
Oh my
Kale,
God, thank you.
You betcha. Kale, what the heck do you want us to know?
I'm at Kale Hills on Instagram, and I have a lot of really exciting things coming down the pipeline, but I can't really talk about them yet. So when they're, when we're ready for the public announcement.
What a good tease.
Powerful.
Maybe the listeners should keep their eye open for a Crunch Bar commercial.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm in a commercial.
I can't wait to see this.
Oscar Montoya, last but not least, what would you like to plug?
You can follow me on social media at Ozzymo, OZZYMO on Instagram. I also have a Eurovision Song Contest podcast called Eurovangelists. It's very fun. And you can follow us on Instagram at Eurovangelists. And also, that's all. One more shout out. I got to shout out Connor's brows. They're kind of on.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They are like whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
They're giving.
They look like you shaped them, and I'm assuming.
I mean, this
Really?
whole time,
Looking.
Connor, I was like, the brows are browing.
I am so happy to hear that. Growing up, like there's this one time where my sister commented on a Facebook or a MySpace picture of me saying you need to tweeze your eyebrows. And so this just feels like I don't know, redemption.
Your eyebrows are literally perfect.
Connor, do me
Top
a
10
favor.
eyebrows, you'd be number one.
Number one. Do me a favor. Make an expression like you're like curious or quizzical about something.
Iconic.
Oh
Look at
my
that.
God.
And that's.
Okay.
Can we get a video? Can we get a still of that, please?
That's going to be our TikTok highlight. Is those 4 seconds?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
It should-
I want more brow work. Can you?
Is that all? Is we find out I can do one thing and then
No, you got this one. This one is. Can you indicate you want to do something flagrantly nefarious? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
they kind of looked like they went into my eyes that time.
Wait, I want to see one more.
Yes,
this
please.
one is you're at like a social gathering, and you and Caitlin are in 2 different groups of people, and you kind of want to indicate like, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Can we get out of here?"
I love that.
I will do that. I do. I want to.
You've done it before.
Yes,
You've done it
yes.
before.
Tell
Oh my god!
So you saved it. You saved it. But no, I'll do it as if I'm indicating to Amanda's sister Caitlin that I'm like ready to go.
Wait, that was good though.
That's
Not bad.
Wow. What
Okay.
the hell?
Hey,
That's good.
you're helping me just shape this new art. Thank you 3 so much. I'm gonna go ahead and just close this out with some plugs of my own. The cover art for Call Me By Your Game is done by Glenn J. You can find him and his other great work on Instagram at Glenn with 2 N's .jay. You can follow the show on all sorts of social media on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Go give us a follow on TikTok. We're gonna have great highlights from this episode that you got to see.
Have to.
You can also the show is produced, edited, and the original music at the top is done by Jeremy Schmidt. You can thank him by listening to his podcast, Video Games, a comedy show, wherever you get yours. Episode 300 is about to air.
Woo!
So
Wow.
we're doing something really fun for that. So keep your eyes peeled. You can find me all over social media and on Twitch at twitch.tv/consiscool69. And lastly, if you like me and the conversations I have with people about video games, check us out on Patreon over at patreon.com/supernpcradio, where I not only do a weekly games club with the contributors over there, which new episodes that come out every Friday. We're going through Hollow Knight right now. Any Hollow Knight fans of this crew?
I
Never played it.
I played the first one.
Yeah,
That's
we
good.
just recorded our first 2 episodes, and that airs. Episode 2 will come out the week that this comes out. So keep your eyes peeled. I also do a bonus episode of this show every month where I have a group of people on to talk about a game that we all played. Oscar was on the Final Fantasy X episode many years ago. And anyway, that's another bonus over there. Anyway, that's going to do it for yet another episode of Call Me By Your Game. We will see you on the next one.